What's going on there, gentlemen? It's your boy, Treetop Piper, back at you. Just wanted to start off by saying sorry for falling off this weekend. Had a bit of a rough one, so I wasn't able to do the giveaway like I had planned. And honestly, I meant to do a short or a post or something. I was just rushing around, had a death in the family. My aunt died last week, and so this weekend was a really big deal. But anyways, I don't want to digress too much. Just smoking out of my 304 sitter, silver spigot sitter, P-lip by Peterson. And I've only been really smoking like half bowl sizes to full bowls, and that's been specifically some of you more experienced guys might know, to build a proper cake in the base of the bowl. A lot of times, a lot of us, we don't end up smoking a whole bowl. We pack a full bowl and we smoke half of it or 3/4 and then tap the dottle out. And the point of smoking the half bowls for the first 15 smokes or so, something like that, first few smokes, is you get a decent bit of cake built in the bottom, so you don't have to worry as much about burning out your briar, which I've done. I did it right when I stopped collecting Dr. Grabeau's. I had picked up a Royalton that I was really pleased about. It was a circular shank bulldog, or Rhodesian rather, look. But it didn't have a square shank. It had a circular shank and it had the two lines. It was a really sweet pipe, but it ended up, I burned, or I scorched the bowl. It was quite a shame. But anyway, I did one. I've got a couple of yabos here, a couple of packages. And I did want to go over the list real quick of those I have entered. Now, if anybody else has done a VR to my giveaway that isn't on the list, let me know. Let me know, where I can find it, and I will do that immediately and put you on the list. But anyway, number 1, I've got Southern VR Piper, VR next to his name. Number 2 is Redemptive Smoke. Number 3 is Last of the Bohemians. Number 4 is Silvio Stefan. Number 5 is Tom York. Silvio, that's a nice name. I like that name, Silvio. You almost never hear. I've never heard that name before. I like that name though, and I think that's how I pronounced it when you said it was correct. But I digress. Number 5 is Tom York, and like I said, number 4 was Silvio Stefan. Number 5 is Tom York. Number 6 is Chip. Number 7 is Cat Dad Piper, VR next to his name. Number 6 is Armchair Piper, VR next to his name. Number 7 is Pipe and Tobacco, also has a VR next to his name. Taciturn, I believe he had Taciturn Piper, or Taciturn Richard, excuse me, is number 10. Number 11 is Sandro Fazzolari. Number 12 is Southern Outdoorsman. Number 13 is Ivan P. Number 14 is Ethan Suggs. Number 15 is Steve the Piper. And number 17 is Parsimonious Piper with a VR next to his name. And number 18 is Clay S. Okay, so I've actually got 17, excuse me, I put somebody down twice. I've got 17, so those are your 17 entries. And what I'm gonna do is, because I'm late and I just don't want to spring this on you guys, I'd like to do a live video tomorrow night, let's say 8 o'clock, make sure everybody's home and relaxed, and we'll do a live VR, and I'll download one of those randomized number apps that's like, you know, rolls a dice. It's basically the same thing as rolling a dice, but you can put 100 numbers in there, and I'll just put 17 or however many. I'll put those in and we'll roll the dice and see who wins. See who wins some cool stuff. Honestly, I really do. I'm sorry about this weekend. I really do want to get this stuff out, because I've had it for a while. It's not being smoked. It's not being used. I kind of feel bad that I'm hanging on to these goods and they're not being used, you know. I wanted to give everybody an opportunity that wanted to do one. I wanted to give them the opportunity to do one. So I made it a couple weeks, and then of course the weekend I mean to do it. It's just kind of a rough one for me, so I just decided to put it off. I wasn't going to do it today because I didn't want to just spring it on everybody. Would have been different on the weekend, but on a Monday, I don't know, it just seemed weird, so I figured I would let you guys know today that tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do the drawing and go ahead and get those sent out probably Wednesday. Really looking forward to it as well. I'm smoking some in-between mixture out of this. I get why people say that this reminds them a lot of Penzance. I do get it. But you know, I think a lot of Germain's blends remind me of Penzance because they use the same tobaccos. You know, the tobaccos they're sourcing are coming from the same place. So naturally, the tobacco's in one blend. If it calls for the same tobacco in another blend, you're gonna have, you know, similar flavors, similar flavor profiles. But I guess that's why people get into specific blenders, Cornell and Deal, Germain's, GAW and Hogarth, take your pick. You know, people get into specific ones. But I actually picked up a pretty neat little haul. And actually this weekend I got a pretty neat little haul. I let one get away, but it was all right. I didn't have to get everything. I got what I wanted. And actually I got another aged briar K. Woody carburetor. Just like my Lavat, but in a pretty interesting shape. I think you guys will dig it. It's a pretty sweet pipe. And some other old K. Woodies. You know, you guys know I've always been a fan of the old K. Woodies, the old 4-hole Stinger K. Woodies, especially the ones with the old big 4-hole Stinger. Those really are nice. And I'd like to continue collecting them. And you know, I was thinking about it, and I've seen a few auctions go down lately, and I realized that perhaps I was seeing skewed pricing on eBay because it occurred to me that when I seen all these different pipes go for high prices, higher than I had remembered them going for, it occurred to me today that it's paper bumper or paper tag, paper license tag season. You know, everybody's got their tax return. Everybody's, you know, flush with cash, you know, so of course the price of things are going to go up. Oh, wow. This is really a treat right here, guys. I know there's going to be some guys that are going to love this thing. We got a super vintage K Woody Thorn, KBB Thorn. We've got a KBB Thorn. Now that is rare right there. A KBB Thorn. Oh, you can even see the clover there. KBB Thorn with a vulcanite stem. It's got a small chip here in the stem, but other than that, it looks really good. It also feels that briar's got some weight to it. Ooh, look at that. Super, super big stinger on that. You know, and I don't know how many times that I see a pipe like this where it's just like an amazing pipe, an amazing set of differences. Like it'll be a carburetor, it'll have a long stinger, it'll be or it'll be a rock amber stem with the long stinger, with a thorn body or something, or carburetor, something special about it, something that it's not just a drinkless or a standard, and then bam, you get somebody cut the darn stinger tip off. Like I seen one today that was like a $300 K Woody all day, except the stinger was cut off, and I said, well, that's that. I mean, once that's gone, that's it. That's the whole ball of wax there if you cut that off. And honestly, it really chaps me that somebody did that to this poor suntan KBB suntan Algerian Ryer. Somebody did that too. You know, an old drinkless KBB suntan. These things are rare as hen's teeth. And they did it with a danged hacksaw too, because it's cut way on back where the draft hole is, and it really chaps me that they did that. You know, as if they were going to be the only person to smoke. Most of these pipes are going to outlive me. You know, like, and you just cut. Now, I don't know, I guess people back then. But, you know, I can tell you right now, and I really like the whole kind of not mythology, but the whole history of K Woodies. You know, you had thorns early on, and then those changed to a relief grain where they no longer sold thorns beyond like the war, perhaps. Something around that time, they quit calling them thorns. And that was one of the pipes I missed out on. It was a unsmoked 4-hole stinger relief grain, early relief grain, all black. And it was basically this with a bulldog shape. And I bought 2 other pipes from the guy, and he had another pipe that was called a Rocky Briar, but it was a KBB Rocky Briar, and it was paneled. It was basically this, but paneled. But boy, am I really pleased with this pipe. I bought another thorn this weekend that doesn't have the KBB on it. So it was like a really late made thorn, I suppose. But this is a 733 number. 733 on it. Somebody took really good care of this pipe. And they reamed it, whoever had it last reamed it, but they didn't ream it beyond, they actually reamed it properly. They reamed it, they didn't go down to the draft hole. They reamed it to where they wouldn't do any damage. Whoever did this pipe, or whoever restored this pipe or cleaned it up for sale, they did not damage it whatsoever. And matter of fact, they didn't do anything to the rim here. The rim is in really excellent shape. There's a little cake buildup here on the inside of the rim, and that's normal because we light our pipes. You know, we light our pipes like that, so you end up with a little bit of cake, or even when you're not lighting it, you're, you know, doing that number, you got smoke coming up out of the bowl, which ends up creating somewhat of a cake there. But I am really pleased with this, with how good that rim looks. I'm really pleased with the apple shape. Now, I've really come to appreciate the apple shape, or like, also another one that's really caught my attention lately is the Prince, or the Prince shape. Same thing with this Algerian briar. The whole, I love how petite this is too. How petite this pipe. It's a very much so. It's almost like something you would be reading or something, and this would be, you know, like just like a straw of a drink that you would just sip on occasionally. And it's got that really sweet rim, you know, really nice, a really nice shape, and I love the rounded rim. I really do. I even like the ones that have flat topped rims. Like I've seen one on eBay that is a Prince, which is a very rare shape, I think, for K Woody, but it had a flat rim on it. It was not, and actually that reminds me. I realized today that this is basically a pot. Now this one I got last week. And it's basically a pot, but they go inward. They take the edge off of that. And I've got another example here of basically almost the exact same pipe. Like when you look at these, both saddle bit, you know, you almost can't tell the difference here between the two. The difference is, though, is that curve inward with this one. This one's the pot, and then this one is the apple, I guess. But I like the flat top on this one too. I've come to appreciate the more rounded pipes. But anyway, oh man, this is just an awesome thorn. I mean, I think this is my second thorn. These are my only two thorns, and geez, wow, this one's really nice. I'm like really impressed that I got that. I have two more thorns coming as well, which I can't believe I actually got. But I did. One of them isn't the KBB, but they don't all have to be KBB. You know, it's just not a big deal. Especially when they're that old. They've got these old stingers, you know, old 4-hole stingers. You know, you can't have everything. You can't have everything. No matter how much we'd like to, we can't have everything. I mean, we can get lucky every now and again, but we can't have everything. Ooh. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh, I like this. Dublin. K Woody Standard. 06 on one side. You got some rims, some rim scorching there. A lot of it looks like cake. It'd probably clean up pretty nice, actually. But I really, the K Woody and the Standard is in really good shape. I like the size. And it looks like they reamed it. And they were just about to start getting into the wall of the bowl there, and they stopped. Thank goodness. Sometimes they go a little far with cleaning them. It's not that big of a deal, really. Wow, what a tiny floor hole stinger. But I like this pipe, actually, the way this looks. It reminds me of, another pipe I've got in here. There it is. It reminds me of a straight stem version of this Dublin here. Let's see what that one is. 92B. But it's a little smaller. It doesn't have, and I like that. This is a small bowl as well. This one's a super small bowl. Almost reminds me of that bowl in Sherlock Holmes that he smokes at the end right before he kills Professor Moriarty. The one with Robert Downey Jr. He smokes a really small, like a church warden Dublin. But I really like that, actually. I'm really digging that. Even though it's a standard, it's really, really calling out to me. I'm glad I picked that up. And I like the size. I like that there's so many sizes and shapes to K Woodies. They made them for so long. I mean, even just, let's say, the 4-hole stingers, they made those for like freaking 50 years, for goodness sakes, you know, when you think about it. There's still got to be a ton of those out there floating around if they were making them for 50 years. Once again, really am pleased with this purchase. Ooh, man, what a steal I got on this. I can't, like I said, that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe because it was tax season, stuff was going for higher. Because this didn't go for that price, and this is every bit, I think, as nice of a pipe as I've seen sell on eBay that was a KBB Thorn. I mean, screw the Rock Ambura. That's a nice pipe. That's a nice pipe, and I want to say that not all briar has weight like that. It's got a lot of weight to it. Now, I don't know if that's from years of being smoked and it just accruing weight from being smoked out of, but it's just a really lovely pipe. Cannot wait to start smoking this thing, because I'll bet you it's going to end up in my rotation at home. And the fact that these old pipes, how did this not oxidize? My own pipes oxidize, you know. Where were they keeping this? That it didn't oxidize is what I'd like to know. How are they keeping these pipes? And it's just, gosh, that's such a nice billiard apple. Wow. And man, I'm telling you, that thing has some serious weight to it. I want to say that's got to be a good thing. I think somebody smoked a lot of aromatics out of this. Not in a bad way. I kind of get a chocolate. A slight hot chocolate flavor out of it. Kind of weird. But anyway, that's the two packages I wanted to show you guys. But other than that, like I said, tomorrow 8 o'clock, set your watches, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and raffle it off. You know, if you're not watching, it's still going to you. It's all right if you miss it. You know, I'm not demanding attention. Just gonna do a live video. That way you guys know everything's kosher. I believe y'all deserve that. You know, to know that it's not you know, to know that it's not a rigged game, you know, that you guys are getting a square deal here, you know. I mean, especially since, you know, people have come out of the woodwork to help me, you know, set this thing off and what have you. But like I said, guys, I am sorry I couldn't get to it this weekend. I do apologize, and I will get to it tomorrow. I will make sure that happens. But until next time, guys, y'all keep enjoying your smokes. Be on the lookout for that next good pipe. And y'all have a good evening. I will see y'all tomorrow, possibly at work. For sure at 8 o'clock. We'll see you then. Treetop Piper over and out.